The ancient Egyptians kept in touch with each other by sending messengers and carving hieroglyphics into stone. In this photo, we can see an example of a messenger that was sent from the king to a temple. It's a small clay tablet with some hieroglyphics carved into it. The Egyptians believed that the king was a god, so they would often send messages to the temples that had been built in his honor. This particular king was Tutankhamun, and he ruled over Egypt from 1332 to 1323 BC. He was only 9 years old when he became pharaoh, which is why he's often called the boy king. The message on the clay tablet says, "Give me the gold." It's a pretty simple message, but it's important to remember that these tablets were often the only way of communicating with people in other cities. There were no roads or vehicles like cars or trains, so messengers had to travel on foot or by boat. This could take weeks or even months, depending on the distance. Egyptians also sent messages to each other by carving hieroglyphics into stone. This was a more permanent way of communicating, and it was often used to record important events or to leave instructions for future generations. For example, the Egyptians kept records of their king's genealogy or family tree by carving them into stone. They also carved hieroglyphics onto the walls of tombs to tell the story of the deceased person's life. Some of the most famous examples of Egyptian hieroglyphics are the ones that were found in the tomb of King Tutankhamun. These hieroglyphics tell the story of the king's life from his birth until his death. They also contain some of the earliest known examples of the Egyptian language. It's amazing to think that these ancient Egyptians were able to keep in touch with each other by sending messengers and carving hieroglyphics into stone. Without these methods of communication, we may have lost many of the records that we have of ancient Egypt. Thanks for watching. See you next time.